Why is it so hard to make curved cuts in a mesh? If you want to make a flat cut, almost any slicer will do that. But the second you need that cut to follow a curve, you're jumping into Blender or some other 3D software just to do something that feels like it should be simple. So I decided to make a tool to fix that. This video is a bit different because I'm recording it from my desk instead of my workbench, but that's so I can show you the beta version of the app I've been working on called PolyCarver. The goal was simple: make curved cuts and meshes easier, faster, and a lot less complicated. There's a link in the description where you can download it for free, or you can go to polycarver.com. Right now I only have a Windows version, but I'm working on a Mac version also. So let's jump into the app so I can show you how it works. When starting PolyCarver, you start with a blank canvas. So let's load a mesh and see how this works. So usually, depending on how your mesh was exported, it should come in centered on the grid, but if not, that's where this center mesh option comes in, and it's already on the ground plane. Your scroll wheel will zoom in and out, right-clicking and dragging will pivot, and middle mouse and hold and drag will move around the scene. Pretty typical stuff. You have your 6 viewports here, your front, back, left, right, top, down. Now this is all relative to the pivot of the mesh and how it was exported, so front isn't necessary front of the mesh, it depends on the direction of the pivot. But it works the same as you expect: front, back, left, right, top, and down. So we'll go to what is the front of the mesh, and now you notice once it's loaded, this menu in the corner popped up. So right now all you can do is go into draw cut. So we'll turn that on, and now this locks your camera view to however you're looking when you start drawing. So now I can't move, I can zoom in and out, but I can't move around the mesh. And now we're in draw mode. So now if I click and drag, I get a Bezier point. If I just click, I don't get any Beziers on it. And then you can just work your way around the mesh, clicking and dragging, however, whatever kind of spline you want. Now, if you have a point you don't like, you can select that point, you can move it around, you press D, we'll delete it. If you just click anywhere on the spline, it'll add a new point with splines that you can drag around. And this is a broken Bezier, so you can affect each side of the curve independently. So let's start with something less complex. Let's get rid of some of these points. Actually, we'll get rid of all of them and start over. So let's start by just trying to cut his head off. So we'll draw a point here, we'll draw a point here, we'll draw another point here. That should do. Now, you notice the menu changed up here. You have exit, clear, and apply. Clear will delete the mesh entirely. Apply will activate the cut. Now, if you exit cut mode, now I can move around again. So this blue plane is showing you the camera plane that you were locked to when you started the cut, and this red ribbon is showing you how the cut will apply to the mesh. So this way you can look around your whole mesh to see how it's going to affect the backside and make sure you're cutting what you want. Now if you click on draw cut again, it snaps you back into the cut view, and you can make any edits you want. But if you're happy with it, you click apply. And now you have 2 meshes. So once it's cut, you'll see it shows you each piece up here. You can turn each piece on and off to see how it's been applied. You can also turn on the wireframe to see how it's affected. And now it's rinse and repeat. You can just keep cutting. Now say you wanted to edit your mesh but not uniformly, like you want to make cuts to the blue area but not the red. You can hide the blue. Let's just pick a random viewport. We'll go into draw mode. And let's apply and see what happens. So now it cut that piece in 2, but it didn't affect the head. Now you can, you can turn off each piece to see how it's been affected. and you can just keep cutting. So let's see how many we can, actually before I show you that, let me exit out of this. So now say I didn't like this cut. You can hit undo and it'll revert back to what you had before. So let's make another cut. Now these are taking a little bit longer because this is such a dense mesh. With a lower poly count, the cuts are almost instant. But now you can see how this mesh was cut. Turn the wireframe on. And like I said before, the head wasn't affected. And now we can just continue to cut. So let's just make a sweeping cut through the middle. Now let me exit. So you can see how now I wasn't on a flat plane like I was before using these buttons. So you can see how I'm off axis on my camera view and how the plane is being cut through the mesh. So if I'm happy with this, I can hit apply right from here and it'll apply the cut. And every time you cut, it just keeps updating how many pieces you have. And you can go through and start turning off each piece to inspect, because this is still a beta. If you try hard enough, you can break it. And usually what happens is the cuts won't cap properly. There will be holes left in it. And if that happens, usually you just revert it and try again. But I've only managed to have that happen usually on when I get very drastic with the cuts. Now, once you have all your pieces, you can just hit export, and it'll export each piece as its own STL. Let's load in a different mesh. We'll try something else. So here's your standard benchy. This is actually a very complex model to cut due to the interior holes. Because as you're cutting through, when it goes to cap the mesh, it sometimes can be difficult to figure out what's supposed to be capped and what's supposed to be a hole. So this is giving me more problems than I would normally thought. I'll see if I can break it to show you what usually happens. So this should work. This is a pretty tame cut, so you can see how it split the benchy. Oh, here's a good example. So you see how it broke the bottom. So this is, in some cases, when it's cutting through multiple pieces, it'll have a hard time figuring out where it's supposed to cap. So let's just undo that. Let's try again. Sometimes it'll detect that the cut isn't going to work, and it'll pop up a warning and tell you it's not going to work, and ask you to refine your cut plane. Basically, move your points around to try to get a better cut. Oh, you can see this time it worked. It's kind of hit or miss on the more complex meshes. Now, the Yoda seemed more complex because it was a higher poly model, but it was one solid shape, which is a lot easier to cut, instead of something like this that has all the internal and external parts to it. Now, let's look at the cut templates I was talking about. Let me load in something different. Just load in a typical calibration cube, and let me make some cuts on this. So I just cut it on two sides. So now I'm going to save this. I'm going to export this cut template, and now let's load the benchy back in. Now, if I apply the cut template, it's going to apply it based on the world coordinates. So it's going to, however that cube is oriented, it's going to cut this the same way. So let's see what happens. So this is an error I was talking about before. I tried to apply the second cut, and it didn't like something along where the spline was placed. So it defaults into, well, it kicks you out of draw mode and shows you where the spline was. So let's go back into draw mode. See if this will fix it. Nope. So it's hitting something that it doesn't like, or it's basically finding an error in the cut process, and it's stopping before it fails. There we go. I'm not sure how useful this feature is. It's just something I came across while I was putting in. I thought it might be useful. I mean, if you have a bunch of meshes that are similar, that you need to go through, you could cut it up once and then apply it to each mesh as long as they're all oriented in the same way. Or you could just apply it to different meshes and get odd results. One thing that to keep in mind when you're drawing the cut, for example, the spline is not exiting the mesh, but what's going to happen is it's going to continue to the extent of the bounding box. So even though I'm stopping the point here, this extends off until it reaches the extent of the bounding box, so it can't stop in the middle of a mesh. So if you see here, it extended the cut in a straight line outward from that point. So if you so say you made a spline like that, it's not going to just cut this piece, it'll cut all the way out in both directions, as you can see. And finally, we can load back in our initial Yoda. So let's export. And now if we look at the folder, you can see it's exported each of the pieces. Once you're done exporting, it's just a matter of dragging the pieces into your slicer and then setting up your different colors. I only have 4 colors on the Snapmaker, so I'm doubling up on a few of the colors. You also notice that sometimes during the cutting process, the pieces will become non-manifold. That means someplace it's not perfectly watertight. For the most part, that doesn't happen. As you start making more and more cuts, though, the likelihood goes up. But you can just repair it in the slicer if you're on Windows. I haven't added any kind of connectors. That's a little tricky when you're working with splines, because this, where would you add the connector that you could still put this part together? But it might be something I explore in the future. So that's PolyCarver. The idea was to make a simple app that anyone could use without having to learn a whole 3D modeling software just to make a curved cut. I decided to make this a downloadable app instead of a web app because it allows the program to use more of the computer's power. And also it's completely offline, so you don't have to worry about losing access if a server goes down. When you download it, you'll get a zip file, and once that's extracted, in the folder there'll be a shortcut to launch the app and a data folder that has all the app's files. Because this isn't an official signed Windows program, the first time you run it, Windows might pop up a warning message, but it's fine to continue. Which is fair, but since I'm putting this out for free, the official legal disclaimer is use at your own risk. I don't take any responsibility if something breaks or crashes or something happens that makes you question your life choices. I did think about adding this directly into a slicer, but for the first version, I didn't want to get slowed down by working around existing software constraints. I just wanted to prove out the idea and get it out as quick as possible. That said, if there's someone that's interested in adding this to a slicer, I'd be happy to talk. There are a few other options I'm thinking of adding to it. One is like a cookie cutter option, which allows you to punch holes in your mesh. This could be used for punching in screw holes or mounting points, or cutting out custom shapes like the eyes on a mask. But before I get too far into it, I wanted to put it out there to see if anybody's actually interested before investing too much time in it. So again, there's a link in the description to download, or you can go to polycarver.com. And if you have any other ideas for features that could be useful, or suggestions after you try it out, let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in supporting the channel to help me keep making other tools like this, consider checking out my Patreon. I've also started branching out working directly with people and companies on custom tools and prototypes. So if you have a difficult problem that needs a unique solution, reach out to DaveRig Design. Maybe I can help. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in improving how your prints look, I have a full playlist on the left that goes into finishing and post-processing. Or if you're more interested in the technical side of things, CAD, AI, advanced workflows, There's a whole playlist on the right that goes deeper into that.